Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are reading the story Cain, Abel, and Seth. This is Genesis chapter 4, verse 1 through 26. And it reads, Now Abraham had sexual relations with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant. When she gave birth to Cain, she said, With the Lord's help, I have produced a man. Later she gave birth to his brother and named him Abel. When they grew up, Abel became a shepherd, while Cain cultivated the ground. When it was time for the harvest, Cain presented some of his crops as a gift to the Lord. Abel also brought a gift, the best portions of the firstborn lambs from his flock. The Lord accepted Abel's and his gift, but he did not accept Cain and his gift. This made Cain very angry, and he looked dejected. Why are you so angry? The Lord asked Cain. Why do you look so dejected? You will be accepted if you do what is right. But if you refuse to do what is right, then watch out. Sin is crouching at the door, eager to control you. But you must subdue it and it be its master. One day Cain suggested to his brother, Let's go out into the field. And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Afterward, the Lord asked Cain, Where is your brother? Where is Abel? I don't know, Cain responded. Am I my brother's guardian? But the Lord said, What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are cursed and banished from the ground, which has swallowed your brother's blood. No longer will the ground yield good crops for you, no matter how hard you work. From now on, you will be a homeless wanderer on the earth. Cain replied to the Lord, My punishment is too great for me to bear. You have banished me from the land and from your presence. You have made me a homeless wanderer. Anyone who finds me will kill me. The Lord replied, No, for I will give a sevenfold punishment to anyone who kills you. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain to warn anyone who might try to kill him. So Cain left the Lord's presence and settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain had sexual relations with his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Then Cain founded a city, which he named Enoch. After his son, Enoch had a son named Irad. Irad became the father of Mijel. Mijel became the father of Methuselah. Methuselah became the father of Lamech. Lamech married two women. The first was named Ada, and the second name was Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal, who was the first of those who raised livestock and lived in tents. His brother's name was Jubal, the first of who all played the harp and flute. Lamech's other wife, Zillah, gave birth to a son named Tubal-Cain. He became an expert in forging tools of bronze and iron. Tubal-Cain had a sister named Naamah. One day, Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, Hear my voice, listen to me, you wives of Lamech. I have killed a man who attacked me, a young man who wounded me. If anyone who kills Cain is punished 7 times, then the one who kills me will be punished 77 times. Adam had sexual relations with his wife again, and she gave birth to another son. She named him Seth, for she said, God has granted me another son in place of Abel, whom Cain killed. When Seth grew up, he had a son and named him Enosh. At that time, people began to worship the Lord by name. The first lesson, well, when I first read this is not the first time I'm reading this story, but it's been on my heart to kind of come on here and read it with you guys and kind of explain what I took from it. What I took from it was what Cain did was wrong. he definitely did sin. And God definitely gave him a discipline. But God was still gracious in a sense, because he pretty much put a warning on Cain that, hey, if you touch him, you will be punished 7 times worse than what Cain was punished. He still was merciful. He still was gracious. He disciplined him, and he still was gracious enough to, look, no one will hurt you. No one will harm you. And if they do, their punishment will be way worse. And actually, me reading this a second time, I actually have more realizations. I have to find it. Because normally I read stuff and I do research and stuff like that. This is what I noticed that I didn't notice before. But if you refuse to do what is right, then watch out. Sin is crouching at the door, eager to control you, but you must subdue it and be its master. Sin is always at all of our doors. And sin, in other words, worldly things, is always eager to control you. With all these things going on in the world, the social media, the this and the that, the things that the media is pushing, it's making people feel like they have to do these worldly things. Even for myself, I'm working my way out of it, but I still indulge in some worldly things. I'm going to be honest. But that made me realize sin is always at our doors, and it is very eager to control us. It's hard to not do worldly things when everybody around you is doing worldly things. Okay? That reminds me of the verse in the video that I made the other day when God was telling us to be immovable when it comes to him, because sin is always at our door and we must subdue it and be its master. We have the power to control what we do and what we indulge in. But here on this lifetime on this earth, we have to become the master over worldly things that we see and know what's from right and what's from wrong. We have to do that for ourselves. No one's going to do that for us. So we have to gain control over our own lives, learn what we need to learn, have God reveal what he needs to reveal to us, and have us become masters over these worldly things. Because in reality, worldly things do not soul fulfill us. I know it doesn't soul fulfill me. And I don't believe there's nobody who at some point in their lives will not turn to God. Or if they didn't, they had a thought that they probably should have, or this is what they should be doing. Whether they chose to listen to it or not, it's came across each and every person's mind. Because how if God created us, how are we not going to never need something or someone that created us? There's no way. There will always be an empty void in us. And a lot of times that void is just simply God. So learn to be a master of your own doings. Control your own thoughts. Control your own doings. Control anything you need to control. Do not be accustomed to this world. I know, and when I say control, God is always in control. But if he gives you tools and knowledge and wisdom to do something or how to do something, so you're not being controlled by sin, work on using those tools so you can subdue sin and be its master. You need to be the master of sin. You control that. Okay? And I feel like there was something else that I noticed. I don't know, man. And I'm gonna Google something because It says, when they grew up, Abel became a shepherd, while Cain cultivated the ground. When it was time for the harvest, Cain presented some of his crops as a gift to the Lord. Abel also brought a gift, the best portions of the firstborn lambs from his flock. The Lord accepted Abel and his gift, but he did not accept Cain's gift. This made Cain very angry. What I want to know is, why did the Lord not accept Cain's gift? I'm thinking, y'all, this is literally what I do when I do Bible study. Y'all are seeing it in live action, what I actually do. So it says here, according to the Bible, God did not accept Cain's offering because of his bad attitude and improper motivation, not necessarily the quality of the offering itself. The text implies that Cain brought his offering with a prideful and resentful heart, while Abel offered his with a sincere, devoted spirit, which is what God valued most. Key points about why Cain's offering was rejected. Wrong heart attitude. The Bible emphasizes that Cain's offering was not accepted because of his internal state, not just the nature of the offering. Lack of faith. Some interpretations suggest that Cain did not offer his sacrifice with genuine faith or devotion to God. Comparisons to Abel's offering. While Cain brought produce from the field, Abel offered firstborn of his flock, which could signify a greater commitment to giving the best to God. Consequences of rejection. Cain's anger and resentment towards God rejection led him to eventually murder his brother Abel. So, all in all, God knew where Cain's heart posture was. He knows everything, okay? You can try to hide whatever you want to hide from God, but he knows the truth. He knows where your heart is. He knows. And he knew that Cain was resentful. Cain's attitude wasn't right. Cain's heart posture wasn't upright. He knew. And God rejecting Cain's offering confirmed what God knew. Lesson in itself. If you're giving something to God or to someone and it's not in the right heart space and it's not genuine and it's not really out of love, you might as well keep what you're giving. Okay? Don't do things if your heart is not in the right place. Do not. Because God knows your heart isn't in the right place. And 9 times out of 10, people can tell that your heart wasn't really in the right place. And even if they don't and you played it off well, God knows the truth. And you're not fooling him. You're not fooling him. Do things with an upright heart posture. And if your heart posture is not upright, just don't simply do it until your heart posture is upright. Or don't give something until you have worked out whatever you needed to work out. Because anything you do give out of, something that should be given out of love, it should be out of love. It shouldn't be out of fake love. It should be out of love. So that is pretty much 3 lessons in itself from the story of Cain, Abel, and Seth. The first lesson, even when you do wrong, God isn't saying, even when you do wrong, you will be punished, but that does not give someone else the right to harm you. You do not do good with bad. You do good with good and you learn from it and you move forward. The second lesson, do not let sin control you. Become a master to sin. You control sin. And that means work on not doing worldly things. Work on living for your soul, not for your flesh. Third lesson, do not do things with a resentful heart, out of being genuine and not out of love, and not when your heart posture is upright. That is the story of Cain, Abel, and Seth. Thank you guys for watching and have a great night.